So let's put the discriminant to work, okay? Here's a couple of questions. And one of the questions says, what is the discriminant of each one of these, okay? Use the discriminant to determine the number of roots that it's going to have, and then go out and prove that by graphing it on the calculator. Okay, so let's do it. The discriminant is the part of the quadratic formula that's under the square root. That's the b squared minus 4ac. Okay, here we go. B squared, that's 7. That's squared. Minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is minus 3. Let's do this. Here we go. 7 squared, 49. Right? 4 times 2 is going to be 8 times a minus 3. So you got minus 8 times minus 3, which is positive 24. Right? Add this up. That's 60, that's 73. Answer is 73. Question, is that square rootable? Yes, it is. So if you think about the minus b plus or minus the square root of what we just figured out, this being a positive number means that we've got 2 answers. So in fact, you're going to have 2 roots. You're going to have 2 beautiful roots sitting right out here. I have no idea what they are, but you're going to have 2 of them. Let's prove the fact that you have 2 of them. And the way you do this simply is by calculating it using your calculator, right? Boot up our calculator here, which I have right here. Let's put in that equation, right? So it's 2x squared plus 7x. Oops, plus didn't come through. Plus 7x. There it is, minus 3. Graph it. Boom. And in fact, look, you do have 2 roots. So it's not asking you to solve what the roots are. It's just asking you how many roots do you have. In this case, you have 2, and it's totally solvable. You can keep going with the quadratic now that you know what the square root is. The square root would be here, so you can finish off using the quadratic if you want. So the discriminant kind of helps us through the quadratic. Or you can just put it on your graph and find the zeros. Now, let's look at this question here and see what's going on. There again, b squared minus 4ac. Find the nature of the roots. B squared, there's minus 6, we have to square it. Minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is 3. Look at this. Minus 6 squared is 36. Minus 3 times 3 is 9 times 4 is, oh my goodness, it's minus 36. This, in fact, gives you 0. That tells you that in terms of that b squared minus 4ac stuff here over 2a, if that is 0, there's no plusing, there's no minus. That's like saying it's gone. You only have 1 root. That's all you have is 1 root. So your graph should come along here and just touch the axis like this. Let's prove it. We could do that again by booting up our calculator. There's our old one. Here we go. Let's clear that out of here and let's put in 3x squared minus 6x plus 3. And let's graph it. And you'll see it should only touch in one spot. And it does. Look at that. So this tells you the nature of the roots. Okay, so let's recap here. Because this is square rootable and a positive number, you're going to have 2 roots. Because this is 0, you're going to have 1 root or 2, what they call 2 equal roots. Okay? And the reason why it's 2 equal roots is because that is going to be x plus 1 squared. So you get 2 roots that are exactly the same. Check out a previous podcast, and that should help you out. But the nice thing about the discriminant, it tells us the nature of the roots. It doesn't tell us what the roots are, but tells you, do you have 2 roots, do you have 1 root, or do you have no roots at all?